Pied Piper. As Odin was the leader of all disembodied spirits, he was identified in the Middle Ages with the Pied Piper of Hamelin. According to medieval legends, Hamelin was so infested by rats that life became unbearable, and a large reward was offered to any who would rid the town of these rodents. A piper, in party-colored garments, offered to undertake the commission, and the terms being accepted, he commenced to play through the streets in such wise that one and all the rats were beguiled out of their holes until they formed a vast procession. There was that in the strains which compelled them to follow, until at last the river Weisser was reached, and all were drowned in its tide. And ere 3 shrill notes the pipe uttered, you heard as if an army muttered. The muttering grew to a grumbling, and the grumbling grew to a mighty rumbling. And out of the houses the rats came a-tumbling. Great rats, small rats, lean rats, brawny rats, brown rats, black rats, gray rats, tawny rats, grave old plodders, gay young friskers, fathers, mothers, uncles, cousins, cockling tails and prickling whiskers. Families by tens and dozens, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, followed the piper for all of their lives. From street to street he piped advancing, and step for step they followed dancing, until they came to the river Weser, wherein all plunged and perished. By Robert Browning. As the rats were all dead, and there was no chance of their returning to plague them, the people of Hamelin refused to pay the reward, and they bade the piper do his worst. He took them at their word, and a few moments later the weird strains of the magic flute again arose. And this time it was the children who swarmed out of the houses and merrily followed the piper. There was a rustling that seemed like a bustling of merry crowds justling and pitching and hustling, small feet were pattering, wooden shoes clattering, little hands clapping and little tongues chattering, and like fowls in a farmyard when barley is scattering, out came all the children running. All the little boys and girls with rosy cheeks and flaxen curls, and sparkling eyes and teeth like pearls, tripping and skipping ran merrily after the wonderful music with shouting and laughter. By Robert Browning. The burghers were powerless to prevent the tragedy. As they stood spellbound, the piper led the children out of the town to the Koppelberg, a hill on the confines of the town, which miraculously opened to receive the procession, and only closed again when the last child had passed out of sight. This legend probably originated the adage to pay the piper. The children were never seen in Hamelin again, and in commemoration of this public calamity, all official decrees have since been dated so many years after the Pied Piper's visit. They made a decree that the lawyers never should think their records dated duly if, after the day of the month and the year, these words did not as well appear. And so long after what happened here on the 22nd of July, 1376, and the better in memory to fix, the place of the children's last retreat, they called it the Pied Piper Street, where anyone playing on pipe or tabor was sure for the future to lose his labor. By Robert Browning. In this myth, Odin is the piper. The shrill tones of the flute are emblematic of the whistling wind. The rats represent the souls of the dead, which cheerfully follow him, and the hollow mountain into which he leads the children is typical of the grave. So that was The Pied Piper, the 7th section of Chapter 2 of Myths of the Norsemen by Helene A Guerber, Odin. I will be working my way through this book section by section, and if there are any other public domain books that you would like for me to read, please leave a comment below. Thank you for listening, and have a lovely evening.